Have you ever felt like loneliness wraps around you like a thick fog, draining your energy and leaving you stuck? Sometimes it feels endless, as though there's no way out. But what if I told you that loneliness isn't a prison, but an opportunity? An opportunity to understand yourself, grow stronger, and find true happiness. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden workings of the brain and explore what really happens when you're alone. Stay with us, because what lies ahead could change your life. Let's start with something fundamental. Loneliness is a natural part of the human experience. Our brain, a complex network of billions of neurons, constantly adapts to external circumstances. But here's what's fascinating. When you're in a relationship, your brain works in one way, and when you're alone, it operates completely differently. For example, when you're with someone you love, your brain produces a powerful cocktail of hormones: dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. These chemicals make you feel happiness, closeness, and satisfaction. But when you're alone, everything changes. Take the story of John, for instance. After a breakup with his girlfriend, he felt shattered. The first few weeks were the hardest. He felt like his world had fallen apart. This is a familiar feeling for many. His cortisol levels, the stress hormone, were off the charts, while dopamine was scarce. But at that very moment, his brain began a process known as a reset. Studies show that loneliness activates parts of the brain associated with self-reflection and planning. John didn't know it, but his brain was beginning to heal. Months later, he noticed changes. His thoughts became clearer, and he started thinking more about his future and setting new goals. Another person, Emma, went through a similar phase. After years in a toxic relationship, she decided she needed time for herself. She started practicing yoga, reading self-help books, and even signed up for photography classes. For her, loneliness wasn't a punishment, but a time to finally hear her inner voice. These stories support a key idea. Our brain is an incredible tool that helps us adapt to any situation in life. But what exactly happens in the brain of someone who is alone? Scientists have discovered that loneliness stimulates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and emotional control. It's like a workout for the brain. It learns to handle inner conflicts and develop self-reflection skills. However, it's important to remember that loneliness can have two sides. When it's temporary, it helps you grow, but if it becomes chronic, it can lead to depression and other problems. Take Mark, for example. He worked from home and rarely went out. After a year, he noticed he had become irritable and withdrawn. This happened because his brain began adapting to isolation by reducing the activity in areas responsible for social connections. But there's good news. You can reverse this state. Mark started small. He joined a sports club to interact with people more. A few months later, his mood improved, and his sense of loneliness almost disappeared. Want to know how you can use loneliness to become stronger and happier? Subscribe to our channel right now so you don't miss more inspiring stories and helpful tips. Back to our topic. Why does loneliness sometimes feel unbearable? This is largely due to our biology. For thousands of years, humans lived in groups because it increased their chances of survival. Loneliness meant danger, and our brains still react to it as a threat. But the modern world is different. Today, loneliness isn't a sentence. It's an opportunity. If you learn to perceive it correctly, it can become your ally. Here are some practical tips to help you turn loneliness into strength. Find a hobby you truly enjoy. For example, Emma discovered photography, which opened new horizons for her. Dedicate time to physical activity. Exercise releases endorphins, the happiness hormones. Learn meditation. It helps calm the mind and focus on the present moment. Returning to our heroes. John didn't just overcome loneliness, he grew stronger. He learned to accept himself for who he is, and that made him happier. As for Emma, her journey was equally inspiring. After a difficult period, she not only gained confidence but also began to inspire others. Remember, your brain is ready to support you if you give it the chance. Loneliness isn't the end, it's the beginning. If this video gets 5,000 likes, I'll share how to overcome the effects of toxic relationships and regain your confidence. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share your stories in the comments. Your feedback inspires us to create new content. Remember, happiness is always within reach if you're ready to see it.